is just fantastic. Captain's Log, Subdates 211216.2. On the 16th day of Moistmas, my whole crew gave to me a bottle of water, a bottle opener, and a bottle cap. This crew of NPCs really suck at the whole gift giving, don't they? On the 20th of January 2021, I made a video called That Vegan Teacher, TikTok's Craziest Educator. It did do exceptionally well on this channel, but I have since unlisted it. I'm going to play a huge chunk of that video so you understand who she is, but I've removed something, and that something was the reason I pulled the video. Later in the year, I made a video talking about somebody called Joe Robe. Joe Robe had a back and forth with that vegan teacher, and before he was outed for being, well, yes, someone that doesn't deserve to be on the internet, I took his side in the arguments with her. But because of his actions, obviously the video had to come down. The rest of the video though is fine, so I'm going to play the relevant parts so you can understand who she is, if you don't know already, here. The eating habits of the person criticizing you play no part in the criticisms being sent your way. If you try and debunk my arguments by using my eating habits, all you're doing is deflecting. And I believe the majority of my audience or anyone who may well see this video will agree a deflection is not an answer, nor is it in any way a debunking of an argument or criticism levied at you. So hopefully the criticisms I levy at you, that vegan teacher, are taken on board. Although it is also quite likely you'll respond with some snarky clips on TikTok, where you are exceptionally popular. That vegan teacher is also a YouTuber, but very successful on TikTok with over 1 million followers. She got some notoriety recently for this.
I'm at college and surrounded by women.
Don't be scared, Tommy. Just follow that meat teacher, Miss Tofu. She'll help you find a nice vegan girl who will teach you what to do.
Now, I can understand why many people thought this was incredibly creepy, but in truth, I didn't think it the first time I saw it. Let's just say it's possibly considered inappropriate to some, many, a lot of people. There is a fair amount of controversy around Miss Kitti when it comes to her nursing background, which is referenced in the wiki, the fact she has 3 separate accounts, one for IRL content and one for pretend nurse roleplay content. She's also been subject to a fair amount of criticism for a number of things she has said. She's been accused of harassing people, for being racist, sexist, homophobic. She also gained some notoriety because of her dog Bella, who, like Miss Kitti, is also vegan. Now, I've seen the debates on this. I do not support raising a dog vegan. When it comes to a dog, I take great issue because they struggle, and people have been in some of her TikToks very critical of Miss Kitti because of how malnourished her dog looks, although one can safely assume she can't handle the mad bants because she no longer accepts comments unless you are mutual friends. I can't imagine why. It takes a special kind of coward to turn off criticism, to then unironically, when they get it in video form because they can't handle a comment. Now, she has claimed to have received some rather threatening messages, and people have tried to apparently break into her home to steal her dog, so perhaps there is a line where the criticism has gone too far. From what I've learnt recently, there is a somewhat odd balance. On YouTube, we have a set of rules when it comes to where people live, their names, faces, and so on. That same set of rules does not apply on TikTok. They're a few years behind us, okay, on that part. One of the biggest issues when it comes to Miss Kitti is that she targets her videos towards a younger audience, children between the ages of 8 and 14 specifically. In one of her videos back in December, she stood naked in a video and began to talk about sexual fetishes and other related topics. But this is of course targeted to children, which I guess then ties into that video right at the start, which does then make it seem a tad more creepy than it ordinarily was. Now, if we treat them as incidents separate, no, but they do now handily tie together and make her look incredibly weird. She also promotes rather unhealthy lifestyles, in the sense that if someone has a health problem that prevents them from going vegan, she believes that is no excuse not to go vegan. I don't know if anyone's done it yet, but has anyone debunked the Crohn's argument yet? Because I believe that's a whole different problem. I briefly mentioned there is a growing commentary community on TikTok. One of the best commentaries when it comes to criticisms aimed at that vegan teacher came from the Korean vegan.
There are two kinds of vegans here on TikTok. Now, both types of vegans claim to utilize education, but one vegan teacher includes fear and guilt, while the other vegan teacher just tries to show you how to make very delicious vegan food. I sometimes get asked why I go after the former category of vegans, and it's because I want to make myself abundantly clear. Anyone who includes fear and guilt as part of her curriculum on vegan education is only trying to take away your power and is undermining the very compassion she claims to be promoting. If someone is trying to bully you into becoming vegan, they either have a terribly uninformed understanding of human behavior or care far more about her clout than animal advocacy. Like I said, there are two kinds of vegans here on TikTok, and it's your guess which kind I am.
I don't like people that do that, and I've seen enough debates on YouTube over the last 5 years where people have tried to use very aggressive language as a means to say, if I were in charge, I would cause you harm if you don't change to be like me. Although it is quite the distraction from the Tommy Innit situation, and then you engaged with his fans.
You know the one where I was just trying to encourage him to become vegan? What the f*** are you guys doing? Some of you are crying, some of you are punching the camera, going...
Vegans, 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 vegans. Oh, do I have word to say? Why? Why? Why are you? Why? Why? I can't even put into words how disappointed you all make me.
Then again, you do respond to literally everyone. So when I never did a video on you, quite a lengthy one, a good one, you responded, much like you did with Tommy Innit. It's almost obsessive. Or the fact you use every buzzword you can think of when responding to Joe Robe or John Robert. Yes, mansplaining, because that's what it is when you are correctly told what veganism actually is when you think vegan means activist. I don't think all vegans want to be an activist, but I do think they all tell you when they're a vegan if you don't already know and they're in the room with you. And then there's more recently D'Angelo Wallace. Now there are some other issues with D'Angelo Wallace that have been reported on. I don't care about that. I do care about this. I noticed last night, because somebody very kindly linked it to me, I never did a live stream response to your video responding to D'Angelo Wallace. It's not very good. You almost hit a point, and then at the last second, you just swerve, which I don't quite understand. You almost have a point and then decide, YOLO swag, in it fam, let's take a detour. I'll get back to the original point when I can be jaffed. As far as vegans go on social media, you are hated and vilified because you exemplify some of the very worst traits of online vegans. You are patronizing, condescending, manipulative, hateful. You are a bully. You target towards children. You are obsessive. You also can't clap back to save your life. You are self-righteous and arrogant, because at no point in any of the criticisms you received could you concede that they had a point, so you tried to be snarky, but sadly you fell short in every single instance. This, by the way, is not a video arguing for or against veganism. This is a criticism levied at somebody who gives veganism a very bad name. Might I suggest you do a little growing up? So with all of that digested, I guess we get to the part of where are they now? That vegan teacher, or KD, well Karen as well actually. She is a bit of a Karen. In fact, she could well be considered one of the Alpha Karen Primes. She was, on the 23rd of February 2021, IP banned from TikTok. Now it is unclear why she was yeeted, but it was claimed for breaching community guidelines. Now I've had TikTok videos removed for similar things because I simply called someone an uncultured prick. They are very sensitive over there. So she then went instead to YouTube, where she has been doing exceptionally well. Granted, she has a lot of hate watchers and a lot of her content is, but she has managed to make a success because she went full-time on that channel, and the views regardless of origin speak for themselves. Who's the real winner here? The person making the content or the person who goes to aggressively downvote it? She's also very active on Instagram, where she is doing exceptionally well as well. Her content, her controversies have continued since the ban on TikTok. Her notoriety has remained, but it cannot be denied she is a success. She uploads several videos a day at times, and it can be safely assumed, considering the number of likes she gets per video. She gets a majority dislikes, but really, it's all about that engagement, and there's no way she's not doing well from it. And while we're on the subject of not doing well, that vegan teacher has gotten herself into another controversy, more recently concerning a TikToker turned YouTuber called The Random Show. They are a cosplay TikToker. The allegations center around a mod, either assisting or doing the stalking of The Random Show. There is a video by Truth Sleuth. I'm going to link that down below because at the moment it's quite a tricky area to navigate, and I do think that video does a very good job going into all the information you need to understand the context. When mods act on behalf of other people, potentially or allegedly, things like this have a tendency to kick you in the ass pretty hard. But I would recommend watching the entire video and making up your own mind for yourself. I did do a little looking at The Random Show's other spontaneous weirdness accounts, all of which are gone, because the mass false flagging harassment has become a bit much. Not a good look for that vegan teacher, if Karen is even involved.